Well, welcome everyone to today's Wednesday Walkabout. And what are we going to talk about on this Wednesday Walkabout? I'm going to explain what this big box is. Coming up, the 10-day forecast, warm, warm, warm. Highs in the 70s and the 60s. So I am by all means ready to get outside in the garden. I even worked outside in the garden yesterday. I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I did and what we need to do to prepare to get back out there and start cleaning up our beds. Is it premature? Is it not premature? What can we do and what can't we do? And then I'm going to share an outfit of the day because I haven't done that in a long time. So what do you say? Let's do it. Okay, very briefly, what is this big box? Well, since it's No Spend February, somebody obviously sent me something. And, well, this is kind of like a tease for a sponsorship in the future. And that is an electric bike by Vater. I may not be pronouncing that right. I will definitely check before I do their official commercial for them. As you can see, I just got it this morning. And the motivation for this is that Hubs has long had an electric bike, and when I say electric bike, you can also power it yourself, or it can be, it can come to your aid to get up and down hills. But he's had one for a while, and sadly, his got stolen not too long ago. Plus, he always wanted me to have one as well to go along with him. So at any rate, this company approached me and asked me if I wanted to try it out. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to try it out, and then I'll give you all of the scoop after I do so. But let's talk about what's going on out in the garden. So yesterday it was absolutely blissful. I came out, and you can see what I did out here. I clipped back some of my nepeta. I am starting to deadhead. And this is what this time of year for me is all about. It's deadheading and cleaning up all around my pansies and my violas because they're going to start shining pretty soon. I probably will even give them some kind of liquid feed before too long because they like the cool weather. So you can see here all of those that were damaged from the ice and the snow. I'm clipping those off. I'm cutting some of them back, and I'm tidying them up because they're going to put out a burst of fresh new flowers and fresh new growth. You can see where I cut that back. So I'm starting to do that kind of, I don't think prematurely because we've got such warm temperatures ahead. The other thing is I'm already seeing the tips of my tulips and stuff. So this process is going to take me a while. You can see that I've cut back already some of my salvias and things, but I've got more that I need to cut back. So I'm not going to do it all at once. Part of my prep. I'm going to take it in small measures initially because my body just isn't primed for gardening season yet. So I'm going to do it in steps, but boy, is it a luxury to come out here on a warm afternoon and clip back something, tidying it up. I'll start pushing or cleaning up some of the leafy debris a little bit, and that will make me happy, and slowly but surely all of this will look better groomed, tidier, and it will look good once those tulips and things begin to show. Something else that I'm going to do is I'm probably, because I got such erratic germination on my ryegrass, I'm probably going to scalp this pretty soon, put down a little bit more seed, and before too long, I'm going to fertilize it with Milorganite because I really want this to green up. Why? Because obviously it looks more beautiful when it's green, but also because I think having 1,000 tulips in bloom just doesn't look nearly as beautiful with brown grass as it does with green grass. So I'm going to be working on that. That's a process that will go on for a couple of weeks. Yeah, and a benefit of the turf that I used to have. So it'll be all fine. It just, we just had 7 inches of snow, which, by the way, we needed the moisture, and I'm very concerned because we don't have any moisture in the forecast. You can see here all of these violas and pansies. They look pretty good, and I haven't groomed any of these. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, if need be, is transplanting a little bit more of this golden feverfew if I see some areas where I would like it to grow. And all I have to do is pluck out some of those seedlings. I've talked about this ad nauseum in a number of videos in the past from last fall, but I'll continue that practice. And then when we come back, I've got a special outfit of the day. Okay, I haven't done an outfit of the day for a while, and a lot of you have asked me, am I just not doing it anymore? And no, I do it when I remember, and a lot of times I get so caught up in wherever we're visiting that I forget to do it. But today I've got special motivation for you. So from top to bottom, these are just my Ray-Ban sunglasses. You guys know I like them. My earrings, I got these at, I think... I got them at an art museum. Now I can't remember which one. Oh, in Chicago. I got them at the art museum in Chicago. I got the scarf actually from my hubs. it's hubs, and I just took it off of the rack before I came outside. My vest is just, it just gives me a little bit of warmth around my upper body, because later today I think it's going to warm up and I'm probably going to want to shed some of my layers. My top underneath, this is actually one of the things I got in my late January thrift store haul, and it's very comfortable and I really like it. Now, why do I want to show you my outfit? Okay, it's because of these breeches. Okay, my sister told me, my sister Meg, who's always younger, she's my younger sister, and we are always bossing each other around, and she told me that she's much more fashionable than I, and she said, you need some of these athleisure pants, preferably like from Adidas or whatever. But these, in case you don't know, like I did not know, these are pretty fashionable right now, whether at ankle length or all the way. And you can wear them, you can style them with blazers, you can style them with just, a denim shirt, and then obviously with Adidas tennis shoes. But the reason that I wanted to tell you about them is, number one, I like this kind of faux tuxedo stripe on the side. I also love them because they have pockets, and you can see I've been working out in the yard. They've got pockets. So when you're working out in the yard, you can put your phone in there, you can put your sunglasses in there or whatever. But primarily because these are so comfortable. Unlike jeans, which can be kind of restricting when you're bending and when you're moving around, these are not restricting at all. So they make great garden pants, and they came in a number of different colors. The other thing that I like about them is that they are really loose. So I anticipate that even in the summer, I'll be able to wear these because they're very, very loose and, as I said, extremely comfortable. The other thing I think we need to take into account before we start working out in the garden in the spring is, number one, do all of your stretching, and don't do them just in the morning and don't do them just before you go outside, but periodically, stand and stretch and make sure that all of your body parts are kind of lubricated. And that's especially important, I think, if you garden in jeans, as so many people do, because jeans aren't very forgiving. And what you'll find is if they don't have a lot of stretch to them, then that puts more pressure on your joints and on your different parts, and it might even put pressure on your back because you just don't have the mobility and the range of motion that you do in pants that are a little more comfortable. But I'm burying the lead. Where did I get these pants? And I got them last month from Costco, and they were $14. And they're pretty wonderful. I wish they were a little bit longer for the winter because my ankles get a little bit cold, but that's okay. They will be great. And at this point, my sister says they're fashionable, and you see them everywhere on Pinterest and on Instagram, but for me it's primarily that they're comfortable, that they have pockets, and that they'll be great for working out in the garden. So if you are a Costco shopper, then you might want to check it out. And then finally, the Adidas shoes. Every time I come over, Stuart's got some Adidas on right now. I've got several pair of them, and what I like about them is there's a thick sole and they're really, really comfortable. And they're not expensive, and they come in very, very fun colors. So there you go. Oh, and the other thing, in preparation for gardening, right now I can just a little bit of a hint that my golfer's elbow might gonna flare up, and so as a preemptive measure, I am starting, as my physical therapist told me, to start preemptively wearing my brace before it gets to be a problem, not after. Well, I have not previously answered your questions about my hellebores, and I came out here yesterday. All the snow had finally melted, and indeed, I do have some hellebores. These are some of them that I got at Trader Joe's last year. I've got some over here that haven't bloomed yet, and I'm going to be planting more of them, I think, just kind of up and down here and in other shady areas, because I like to use them as cut flowers, and because I just think they're dear. Equally as dear is the fact that Stuart and I can hear the kids at the elementary school down the street playing outside. They're having fun. They're glad the snow has melted and they can finally get outside. And then I've got something else I want to share with you, but we're going to have to go inside for that. Okay, now I want to give you a follow-up. I told you last week, the beginning of last week, I think, or the end of the week before that, that I had cut some star magnolia branches to bring inside in force. And some of you were legitimately concerned about, oh, is that a bad thing to do right before it gets very, very cold? Well, I did a little bit of research, and I just was going to cut very conservatively, and I was going to cut off a branch I wanted to be removed anyway. And so no, there was no problem, and it sailed through that cold sprint just fine. But now I want to show you how gorgeous it is. Look here. So what has been a surprise to me is that not only did some of the bigger buds come out and bloom, but these smaller buds are all starting to come into bloom too, and they're equally as sweet. Now, what I think I am liking even more, because this is my first experience with forcing a branch from a star magnolia, what I'm liking even more is the delicate leaves, the delicate foliage that's starting to come out. And I cut another small branch this morning. And by the way, can you see here my fungus gnats? Can you see there? I just now noticed them. I'm going to have to put some mosquito bits in here. This is, yeah, did you see one? Because these amaryllis have been just spectacular, and I wanted a support for this and also a little bit more leafy density there. Look at how gorgeous these are. Yes. This is Moscow, and I've already pinched off a number of dead blooms, but they're really spectacular. Yeah, they're really, really wonderful. And I like the fact that this is big and very dramatic, and then I've got another little petite one there. Now, as I said, what I really like is the foliage coming out, the little tiny green spring leaves. That just really makes me so happy. And so what that tells me is, Linda, it doesn't have to be a blooming branch then. And it also doesn't have to be something that is anything special. So I think I'm going to go out to the alley, and I'm going to look to see if anything has fat leaf buds on it, even if they're junk trees, to bring in some of those branches to force them. Because, you know, that's a very popular thing right now in catalogs and magazines. And then finally, and don't judge me because I don't know that my kitchen is clean, but the Forsythia, they're doing the same thing. And some of the little yellow leaves or little yellow flowers have already started to drop, but look at all of the sweet leaves that are coming out. And that is just such a sign, fresh sign of spring. Now, you might have quince in your yard, you might have other kind of flowering spring shrubs, you might have some spirea. It might be a little too early for them. Obviously, you might have some Forsythia. But if you've got anything, any kind of branches that are starting to break bud, whether it's floral bud or leaf bud, then that might be something that you want to cut and bring inside because, well, it just really, on these remaining cold days, is a very, very special thing. Very peculiar to this time of year, and I, for one, just love it. So when we come back, let's wrap it up. And Stuart commented on this vase. And by the way, this was a thrift store find. I think I probably got it for about $3. And because it's so large and so tall, it's the perfect scale to fit these kind of twig and branch arrangements. So I think that's really, really wonderful. So that's just kind of a few things that are going on here at the cottage. On another note, we are filling up for the Linda Vater Boutique Garden Experience in May. We still have some spots left, so if you want to join us, make sure that you contact us at support@lindavater.com very, very soon. I've got something kind of exciting that I'm gonna work towards for when we are in France in July. It may or may not come to fruition. And then I'm going to be doing a number of online presentations back to the elegant and edible landscape and that kind of gardening in particular, but also some kind of I'm going to be visiting with the Manhattan Book Club on a Zoom meeting, and I invite you to join, and I'll make sure to get you all of those links. My mouth isn't working very well, and I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Can you tell? Stuart, have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, this was just kind of a quick let's touch base. I am going to try to do more of these coming up as the garden begins to unfold, because when it happens fast. So fast. It's like my little granddaughter Danny. Things are changing so quickly, and I want to do whatever I can to participate in those changes and document them. So there you go, a very quick Wednesday walkabout. Thanks for hanging with me. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, a follow, hit the hype button, and we'll see you next time.